So if you ask me what is the main challenge, how we can touch everyone, the ones that it's hard for them to get this service today. We don't want to be only for the private. So how we can manage the platform to be for all. That's what we look at.
Welcome to 20-Minute Leaders. Just sit back, relax, and learn from the leaders of today. It's a journey. Each one is different, unique, inspiring. Let's get started. This episode is powered by J Ventures, a community-driven VC fund in Silicon Valley in partnership with Leumi Tech, sponsored by Homeward Ventures, Hippo Insurance, Upwest Labs, Synergy Global, Elol at Stanford, Leap, Birthright Excel, Serona Partners, and in media partnership with C-Tech. Hello and welcome to 20-Minute Leaders. Today, I'm really excited to be talking to Ziv Elul, an entrepreneur, CEO, and founder. The digital advertising company Ineractive, which he founded together with Ofer Yehudai, was sold in the first round for $86 million to the German Faber company. Elul served as CEO for 12 years of the company. In 2021, Fyber was sold in a deal worth $650 million, and in the same year, Elul established a new startup called Periapt. He is an avid investor and board member of several startup companies, lieutenant colonel in reserve, and holds a master's degree in business administration with honors from the Hebrew University and is one of its board of trustees. Ziv Elul, welcome to 20-Minute Leaders. How are you?
I'm good. Thanks, Michael. How are you?
I'm doing awesome. Thank you so much for joining me today, Ziv.
Thanks for
having me. We're
going
to have a really fun conversation about startups, entrepreneurial journeys, and you have a few of those already under your belt. Your most recent one with Periapt, and looking at ADHD, and we're going to talk about that a little bit more previously in media, Fyber, etc. And so a lot for us to unpack. And I want to start sort of chronologically and make our way towards Periapt and what you're doing today. Tell me a little bit about you as an entrepreneur. What your journey has been like so far.
Entrepreneur started 15 years ago. 17 years ago. I just left the army. Thanks to the idea of opening a startup together with Ofer Yehudai. And this journey was quite exciting. We started in the first startup that was about in-game advertising in the beginning. It was Ineractive, that moved to mediation exchange in the advertising technology, which we call ad tech. And this company was quite a journey, as I mentioned before, but because it was like now that you have the economic situation that was poor, back then it was 2009 and 10. So we managed to take the company to profitability, and it was successfully acquired by a listed German company on the name of Fyber. And the year for $86 million, and a year after, I became to be the CEO of this listed German company. That was 200 million on the top line, losing money. And they had 150 million euro bonds. And thanks to great management and teamwork and strategy, we successfully managed to take the company to double the revenue and more to be profitable. And also was acquired a year and a half ago by a listed Nasdaq company of the name of Digital Turbine for $650 million. And
incredible.
I stayed less than a year and decided to move on to open a new startup, which is Periapt, with two other founders, with Gili and Meir, and offered myself that we were together like two in a box for like 15 years and more. We both decided to do things that are good for the world, but in different segments, which is
incredible.
Great. Yeah.
I love that. Give me just a bit your 2 cents on, what this experience was like for you until now. So the last 14 years of being an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
Did you have fun? Did you enjoy it?
Yes, of course. Why I'm starting again.
I don't know. I've heard that entrepreneurs are kind of insane. I can say that about myself.
Insane? So yes, first the answer is yes. It's insane. If it's fun, of course. I think that you need this adrenaline. You need this working and building and creating. I think it's in your blood. So if it was not fun, why would we do it? So yes, the answer is yes, definitely yes. And when it won't be fun, not sure that I will manage to continue. So the answer is yes.
Okay, and so having fun, a lot of meaning. Obviously, there was a big celebration in the end as well. Doing good for the world. You're positioning yourself now. You're an entrepreneur. You're saying, okay, there's so many different things that I want to be doing. There's so many different things that I could be doing. I want to do good for the world. What was that ideation process like for you? How did you get there?
Great question. So the decision was to leave Fyber, as I mentioned before. That's one thing. Then you only start to think about the next thing that you want to do. It was about doing startup. That's something that I knew. I had options to go to the VC side, to be in a journey of taking company to a listed company, or to go to different startup that they asked to have new entrepreneur to join a team that was raising money and capital. But the decision was to go again to a startup. That was one thing. Then you need to decide which area you want to go again. So for the edtech, I think we had enough, the 15 years, which was great journey, and to do things that are good for people at the end, because you have salaries, you have a business to run, which is exciting. Also TNX, because we had 200 people in Israel, all was good. But I decided after my father was passed away 2.5 years ago from cancer that if I'm doing something, it will be with something meaningful in health, which is to go out from my comfort zone, obviously, but I thought that it was the right thing to do. And the ideation was about doing something in this area. So the first idea was to do something that is related to what the Rav Führer is doing, Rabbi Führer, which is to connect between the doctors and the patients. But in the ideation process, we understood, and we were a team, Gimi and Meir. It's also a decision to build a team and to have a foundation team. And we decided that it's a great idea, but it will be hard to execute. That's after talking with some of the VCs, talking with the industry, with insurance companies. And we moved to a different idea on the digital health, is to have medication like pandemic or something that is expensive. And we decided to move on because we saw that it's a field that it's a lot of logistic behind it, and also regulation. So we said it's not for us, although it's a great idea to have like global medication for pandemic and to manage the supply chain for that. And we looked, okay, so now what? And we looked on where are the areas that it was not being managed. You have a lot of companies for cancer, or you have for mental health, or you have to specific areas. But when it comes to ADHD, we found that there is no solution. I have kids with ADHD. Gili, which is also one of the foundation team, she knew this material as well from her experience. And I decided to check for myself, by the way, when I found on my kids, I decided to check, and I found out, which was not a big surprise, that I have ADHD, like I think 50% of the entrepreneurs and CEOs, which, by the way, this is the data. And we said, okay, we saw the journey. We saw that it's not that easy to manage, because it's multidiscipline problem that you need to track, manage, and also to optimize and to personalize the treatment. So we said, okay, it's an area that we know that there is a lot to do. We checked the town. We were talking again with VCs, with the market, and we said, okay, we found out. So for your question, Michael, we found that there is a space, there is time. We had some personal connection, which is crucial, especially if you go to digital health. Again, for me, I think it's crucial to have something that you have your personal feeling. So the decision was to move on. We raised money, close to 6 million, from 2 VCs, from Eli Wartman, which was great because his decision was about the foundation, about the idea, about doing impact. And he came from the same way of thinking like we have.
Yes.
And also Arista Goa, which is an outfit. Two are great for us. And friends that join, some people that are coming from CEOs of public companies or small VCs or friends VCs that joined to the round. So it was close to $6 million. And now it's the POC and MVP and things that that this is the fun part, yes.
I love it. Okay, so let's talk about Periapt. What did you learn about the world of ADHD and how you're looking at the space? What are the different things that we should really understand about the complexity or about the simplicity or about the opportunity on the table to make a big impact? I'm all ears.
Yeah. So first, we found that 10 to 20% of the kids all over the world, they have been diagnosed with ADHD, which is quite a lot of people in the world that they have ADHD. Put aside the ones that have not been diagnosed. So this is only for the ones that we know. Second, we learned that it's multidiscipline problem. So it doesn't come with one thing. It's not that you have ADHD. Okay, now take medication and goodbye. We found, and we knew, but we found by research and also with the work that we're doing with the market analysis that usually you have ADHD, but also it comes with some emotional issues, or you have writing issues, or you have or you need the medication, no medication, or you have also the parents that are involved that not necessarily agree on the treatment. And it comes also not only with the things that we know that are great and amazing, that you can be founder and CEO. We found that, if it's not managed that well, these kids are lost. And these kids might be in jail or with depression, or they take risk and they are more ADHD when they grow up and they found themselves with more accidents and more divorces because of that. So this is not the bright side that people are talking about ADHD. We always want to feel and rely to the nice and the Superman, and which is all correct, by the way, but still you need to manage it well in order to be on the bright side of that, and that's, I think, where we can support and help and to strengthen the parents in the process to support the kids, because we think that they are the ones to decide the path. If you're 6 years old, 7, 8 years old, they take the decision. So we want to make sure that the decision they take is something that we can support and help, and to be 24/7 for them in the issues that they have. You have social issues that you can manage. You have the school issues. As I mentioned before, it's a multidiscipline, and you don't have, Michael, holistic solution. And that's where Periapt is about, is to have a holistic solution and to personalize the treatment. And you can have a picture where your kid relate to others, where your kid is in all this what we call multidiscipline issues. You see the whole picture in school, out of school, and you can take the right decision how to treat and how to manage in real time.
Where are the challenges that you see in providing such a holistic solution? How do you see Periapt shaping with the different challenges that are forming when it comes to providing really a good solution for somebody with ADHD? I mean, what are the complexities there?
Yeah, the few complexities in order to scale this business, obviously, like other businesses. But one of the areas that we are now looking at is the school, because the school are the ones that they usually diagnosed, what we call pre-diagnosed. They are the one to send the kids for diagnostic. So we find it as a challenge in the future, because we need the cooperation. So we need to make sure, the regulation-wise and cooperation, that they will be part of the solution, because we don't want to see only one part of the kid, which is before they go to school and after they come from school. So this is one of the areas. The second thing is about all about money flow. So if this business will be direct to consumer only, if it will be B2B2C, so it's also a challenge it's not a challenge, it's something that we're now looking at and we're trying to analyze and understand better, that we can make sure that many people will be part of the solution, because we want to be a platform for all kids, and not only the ones that it's affordable for them, but for everyone that they can't afford, that we can make sure that someone will pay, that we can have the insurance involved, and how we can convince and how we can find the right KPIs that will enable the system, what we call the pairs, to be part of this solution. So it will be for all kids. So if you ask me what is the main challenge, how we can touch everyone, the ones that it's hard for them to get this service today. We don't want to be only for the private. So how we can manage the platform to be for all. That's what we look at.
Where are you in all of this? Obviously, you're one of the leaders, but where is Ziv as an entrepreneur and as a sort of a world citizen, as a game changer? What is your vision within Periapt for yourself?
I think that it goes back to the decision why digital health and why to be again entrepreneur. So for me, it's to take all what I know from the past, from building companies, from looking on other companies from the side, and to use this knowledge to scale something that can do good for the world, and also to make money. I think the case of taking Fyber for $100 million, I want to make it for billions here in Periapt. So, and also to impact many other people. I want to make the life of other parents that they can feel empowered. So that's where I find myself as a parent, and also with someone with ADHD. And I know that also the other foundation, they want the same. So I think that to build the DNA of people that they care about others, but also they care about making money, which it's important to scale the business, it's the DNA that I want to create.
Right. And as you're now creating this DNA, you're shaping this founding group together with you as you're going on this journey. How do you align everybody, and how do you make sure that everybody's aligned on this great vision that you're talking about? Because it's very easy to say, we're dealing with, a massive issue, ADHD, and all of us care about it, but you have a greater vision for the role that Periapt is going to play within the world of ADHD. How do you create that alignment?
I think first is to have the right people. What I learned in the past, that people are crucial for the success. Technology, of course, it's must. You have great technologies, but if you don't have team behind it that can use this technology right, so what's the point? So I think the fact that we have first DNA of people that they work from the same ambitious, they come from the heart to solve this solution. I think that's what I care most. So the alignment comes from first understanding the payment, not the payment, the pain. And yes, the payment is also something that we need to solve. The payment
is also important.
It's also something we need to solve. But the pain is something that people feel and they want to solve. And if they connect to the pain, if they talk with parents, if they have their own pain in their home, by the way, and a lot of the people now that work with Periapt, we have only 9 people. I think that 7 out of the 9, or they have ADHD, or they have kids with ADHD, or they have something that relied close to them to ADHD, and they feel connect. So the question is amazing, Michael, and the answer is to connect from your heart, to align for the pain, and then the solution will come from all of us together. So it's really a teamwork.
I love it. No, and I think it's just such a cool journey that you're on, and it's very inspiring for me as an entrepreneur. You're talking about why you're doing what you're doing and the positive impact you're making, your own theory of change, and bringing together a phenomenal group of people that are sharing your theory of change and what that means. I think it's I really do think it's such an important story to be shared for everybody, and so I'm very thankful that you spent this time to share with me. And I'm wishing you best of luck, Ziv, with your work at Periapt and everything else that you'll do. I look forward to continue cheering from the side, and really thank you very much.
Thank you, Michael. You make me excited as well. So thank you for the time as well.